Good morning. It says we're live. I'll accept that we're live, and we'll just go down that path. How are you this morning? Sunday morning. Used to go to church on Sunday morning. Haven't been to church in a long time. Not because of real estate. I'm not going to blame the church for not going in the morning. I'm not going to blame real estate. I don't know. That's complicated. Do I expect there to be a bunch of people on my stream this morning? No, I don't. Why would I expect that? Well, one, see, I do that all the time. I need to hit the record button. One, it's Sunday morning and people sleep in. Number two, I don't get that many views in the first place. So why would I get one today? I'm hoping for a spam commenter because they love me, it seems. And, other than that, I don't know what's gonna transpire. I like that there's a delay. I don't know how long it is, but there is a delay between when I set up my stream and when you can actually get it. So I'm not sure if I should start a little bit earlier so that I'm right on time. Normally I'm on time here at 9:00, but maybe it's not showing up for you until like 9:01 or 9:02. Anyway. Let's not get too into the weeds. Let's talk about my outfit. Let's talk about me in general. One, clothes aren't fitting. I don't know what to say about that. Getting a little bigger. I need to do something about that. So before the stream, I looked up standing desks. Some people say that's how you lose weight. Maybe I'm sitting too much, but I don't know. I got to do something. This is getting a little bit out of hand. I would like to say it's too many cheeseburgers, and maybe it is, but I love cheeseburgers. So we got that. Then we got this. See, the weird thing is when you look at the camera, it's backwards, so it's right here. Got this little thing from my mask. You have to wear masks in the county up until maybe yesterday or the day before, and I got to get rid of it. It itches. It's like dry skin. Doesn't look good on the screen. On the screen, it doesn't look good on the stream. And then let's talk about my outfit. Well, number one, I wore Stafford 100% cotton T-shirts probably since high school. Okay, and you can only get them at JCPenney. Okay, and for Christmas, that's what I would get. I'd get a pack of 6 new T-shirts. I always wear a T-shirt every day. There's never a day that I don't wear a T-shirt. If I go work out in the yard, I will not wear a T-shirt underneath. I mean, that's how often I wear a T-shirt. My wife hates T-shirts now because she doesn't like to fold them, and in the wash they take up a lot of space. I like T-shirts, but this last batch that has been purchased for me has neck issues. Can you see? I just put this shirt on this morning and it's already messing up at the neck. Now you say, well, you have a fat neck. It's you. No. The construction of the shirt is much different than the original shirts that I used to wear. Let's talk about this brand loyalty. I've worn these shirts and purchased these shirts exclusively for 20 years. You would think that would mean something in today's world, but it doesn't. They cheapen the quality. I mean, I don't even know if JCPenney's even kicking, but I'm gonna have to change shirt manufacturers, which I'm loath to do. Then my shirt. I don't know if I got, like I said, I don't know if I got fatter or what, but the shirt is just not fitting me correctly right now. It's just not good. We're not having a good day with clothing. So that's the start. That's the start of the day. Anyway, now we've talked about me. I've got a list. I got to go through it because if I deviate from the list, I get lost. So, wanted to mention this is the 14th consecutive stream. Am I getting better at streaming? I don't know. Is my preparation better? I can't tell because I'll put up a number of articles. Now, if somebody were with me in the chat, I would take time to listen to them or to read what the chats are and respond to the chats. But unfortunately, I'm stuck with I'm stuck with a situation where I'm not getting a lot of chatting going on, and so the live stream is kind of just me doing another video for an hour. So we'll get better, maybe. I don't know. So it's the 14th, and I'm always fascinated by YouTube. If anybody ever goes back and watches any of these feeds, so YouTube is a fascinating thing. It's supposed to be built on all this data, okay, and so then you're supposed to be able to take the data and make changes to your product so that more people watch. I almost think it's a faulty premise, and here's why. I do a live stream and a podcast every day. Okay, there are some days where I get more than 1,000 impressions. Do you know how many? Do you know how many I've got the day before yesterday? Well, no, you don't. I got 600, which was below 1,000. Okay, and I thought, well, that's kind of strange. That's not helpful. Well, then I go even further last night and checked the stats this morning. Yesterday, I had 300 impressions for doing a live stream and a podcast and publishing them to YouTube. It's not so much a complaint. It's more of, I don't understand why it's going down. It's the same stuff. Now, you can say, all right, well, it went down, so that's bad, and it is. But what I don't understand then, to add to that, is my hours watched went up. Yesterday I had my views cratered, but my hours watched went up. So you do something with that statistic and fix and get on YouTube. And use the numbers to do better. I mean, the numbers don't make any sense. Not a complaint, just an observation. So it's kind of weird. So I took it a step further. Since I own the Deerwood Realty channel, okay, I'm not allowed to subscribe to my own channel. Okay, so I don't see when there's notifications or anything like that for my channel. But I've often heard people say, hey, click the bell notification, or when you see a live stream coming up in your subscriptions, if you click send a reminder, I always thought that would send you a reminder to the live stream. And so what I've been trying to do, I have to be kind of, it's kind of messed up. Let me try to walk you through it. So I like to have a link to the live stream tomorrow out there so that people know that I'm doing one. Okay. I don't always know what I'm going to talk about, and that's okay. So I just set kind of a placeholder. Well, that placeholder isn't, it's public, but no one can see it. So it's nowhere on YouTube, so no one knows it's coming. Now, if you subscribe, it'll say, coming soon on your subscriptions page, but it won't show up in the general, recommendations. So then, when you click set reminder, I did set a reminder. I did go into my personal account and I set a reminder for the live stream. But when I set the reminder for the live stream, it went for the live stream yesterday. That's where the link went, not today. Even though the link was set for today, even though the live stream was already set up for today. So I just don't know what to do. It's not ideal when somebody likes your show so much that they're going to click a set reminder, and then the reminder is from the show before. So, all those 4 people that were watching my video, my stream, are going to miss this one. So that's a little bit odd. So we got the YouTube, fascinating thing. People did watch my videos yesterday. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up is with all the content out there, how wonderful is it to be alive right now? When I was a kid, there was cable, okay, but you couldn't record anything unless it was on VCR, and you couldn't click anything, and you couldn't watch anything again, really. Now with video on demand, with YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon Prime, Hulu. I think we have Hulu. It's expensive, and I don't like it. But anyway, you can find almost anything now. One of the the problems that I see is it used to be, if there was let's say Seinfeld in the mid 90s, okay, like everybody watched it because there was only, 6 other channels and you couldn't record it. So you were toast. And if you could record it, it was on VHS and it wasn't great playback. But it was on like a major network. Now, good shows could be all across the board on channels you don't get. So like Paramount Plus, I'm not getting, I forgot if it's Yellowstone or what the name of the show's called, but I'm not getting it and I want to watch it. But I don't want to go through all the rigmarole of trying to find a way to watch it. I'm done. Disney Plus, there's shows on there that people are watching that I'm not going to see. I was never big on Disney in the first place. I didn't grow up with Disney. It's always been kind of weird to me, and I don't mean that as an insult. It's just not my thing. But with YouTube and live streaming and all the things you can do, I mean, I could understand why someone's not watching my Realty stream at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. I get it. I get it. You kind of have to be personally invested in the host to want to do something like that and have the time. And what I've noticed on YouTube really is that during the week, nobody seems to have any time to watch anything. I mean, numbers wise. And then on the weekends, I'll get quite a few views. Because people are off work and they're just trying to relax. Maybe they have me on while they're working in the wood shop. I don't know. Somebody out there's just wants realty content and they want it all the time, and I'm the best that they've got. So that was interesting. It's interesting to see how YouTube works, really. But like I said, we're going to stream 30 days in a row and we're going to report our results. And I suspect you will be shocked by what you see. Sounded good. Let's talk about another real estate YouTuber that I came across. Talked about him maybe a week ago, and I'm not going to say his name and I'm not going to do the channel, okay? But this guy, he has these videos out and he's doing well. He's doing better than me, for sure. Been doing a little bit longer, but I happened to come across his website just on accident. I was searching for something and it just happened to be, I know exactly what it was now. I was searching for real estate hashtags because I've recently taken over the Deerwood Realty Twitter page and I kind of want to have some hashtags that are related to real estate. Well, he has the best article for that online, and I guess because it ranked high. So I went to his site and I was like, I think I know this guy. And so sure enough, it was the guy that does the video. So when I looked, I just want to tell you what my goal is in real estate, and then we'll go from there. My goal is to be able to represent 2 or 3 buyers a month for the entire year. That's all I want. I don't want thousands and thousands of clients. I'd like 2 or 3. I'd like to average that, and I'm fine. And that's, I want to show the houses. I want to list the houses. I don't want a team of 70 people. That's right now. I mean, would I get a buyer's agent if I was really struggling with, scheduling showings and doing all the other things I do for marketing? Probably, but it would be somebody close that I could trust, and, it wouldn't be like the person that just came off the retail line at like Target, and just wouldn't happen. So anyway, he puts down his earnings. Now, are they true or not? I don't know. But the guy's earning like $200,000 a year, he says, which is good money. I mean, I think. But when I looked at his transactions, he's not doing any transactions personally. He's got like some sort of setup where he's got these, agents working for him or something like that. Like maybe almost like a traditional brokerage, but not a traditional brokerage because he's an agent, not a broker. But anyway, his whole thing is he needs to make money like through affiliate marketing. So he'll write an article about, the best standing desk on Amazon. And so then when you click his link, then you go and he gets a little commission from that, from Amazon, an affiliate link. I have no affiliates, and I don't really want to do the have a bunch of agents that you don't know work underneath you. Is my goal wrong? I don't know. It's what I want. It's what I want. So I don't know. Anyway, in real estate, there's more than one way to make money. This guy's found a different way, and good for him. But I wouldn't want to do that. And so, keep that in mind. Say you're looking for a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. You're looking for somebody that actually, let's go over that. So, like, we have LawTube, and I love watching everybody on LawTube. Everybody, but I pay special attention to those that have actually done the business and are currently in the business. What do I mean by that? Well, so there's some lawyers that have not actually tried any cases, but they're commenting on cases. Some people are commenting on jury trials who've never been on a jury. Now, I don't care. I mean, I'm happy to hear their insight, okay? But unless you do it consistently, things change. And certainly with real estate, I think you should be able to go to somebody that actually does do the business of real estate, does actually go show houses, does actually list houses. I think there's a feeling of being real and genuine versus there's other people online, and I'm not ripping on anybody's deal, but there's other people that have talked about real estate and how great they are, and you look at their transactions, they're nothing. And like who's it's almost dangerous to listen to that kind of stuff for advice because it's so dated, and I struggle with things. For one, like, let's say if you typed in your Google search homes for sale in St. Louis, okay, not going to see me there. I'm going to see realtor.com, Movado, the franchise brokerages dominate the first and second page of Google. Find a realtor in St. Louis, not going to see me. Find a real estate agent, same thing. It's going to be the same outfits. I mean, they've got the web search done. Now, I can pay Google to be in search. I could be number one on those things. But I think the cost per click last time I looked was like $12. So you could spend thousands of dollars. Now you say, well, you'll make thousands of dollars, John. But again, the business that I want, okay, is I just want to show houses to prospective buyers and work with sellers. And I'd like to just do that 2 to 3 times a month. That's what I want right now. That's what I want. I don't want to be chasing after, I don't want to have somebody click on a box on my website and then I'm chasing after them for 6 months, just trying to get in contact with them. They've already called like 4 other people, and now I just have no idea why I've been wasting my time. Same thing with selling. So that's the business that I want. It's possible, highly, highly possible, that the business that I want and the business as it is are 2 different things. So it could be the only way to make it is to spend all this money on advertising, Facebook and Google. It could be the only way to make money is to have an affiliate link for every single thing you do. It's possible. Is it a good thing? I don't know. It is what it is. So how can you help me do that? Well, you can be a part of the stream. You can watch my videos. You can tell your friends about me. Across the United States, don't kid yourselves. People move to St. Louis all the time. People move out of St. Louis all the time. Okay? It's not like, how do I explain it? It's not like people don't know people. Especially in today's world, your kids may go to a school 1,000 miles away from your home. They may be moving back and looking for a place to live. One of my criticisms about St. Louis that I think is real, and when I talk about St. Louis, I'm going to talk about the region. So St. Louis County, St. Louis City. My feeling is that when I see the moving statistics, we're always at a net loss for moving. So people live in St. Louis and leave. No one's fighting to get here. So how do we grow? Well, we're growing by, our population growth is by literally people having children and staying here. And maybe some people come to St. Louis to work and find it's not such a bad place, and so they stay here forever. But contrast this with something like Austin, Texas. Okay. Contrast this with something like anywhere in Florida. Contrast this with Colorado. People are moving to wonderful destinations for employment, most likely. We're going to get into an article about the cost of living. I don't think many people care so much about the cost of living as much as they care about, they want to be in a city, in an environment that's growing and positive. And like, we have things in St. Louis to be happy about. We have our soccer team is coming. You know, my point is that people know people. You know where I am. I don't think yesterday's discussion about ranking in Google or ranking in YouTube for things to know about St. Louis or moving to St. Louis, here's a guide. I don't necessarily think that, even if you made the videos, I don't necessarily think you're going to rank number one. And so when you don't rank number one, you know, and then how many times are you redoing the content? I thought about it for a while. I like to do driving videos. I'd like to drive a place, like say, I drove Southampton. I put together a video of me driving Southampton, but it didn't work. I don't know why. Partially because of this view I have of, I want things to be real and genuine, and so I didn't want to edit it too highly. Partially because I don't know that anybody knows where Southampton is outside of St. Louis. So, and I don't know that everybody knows about Southampton in St. Louis. So it was tricky. I don't know. That's where I'm at on that. So I have other things. Yesterday I had a weak podcast, and by weak it wasn't flowing right. The topic was interesting, but there's just something about it that we didn't see eye to eye on. When I went over it, what it was a real estate article about it was 17 homebuyer mistakes that'll cost your wallet, or they'll hit you in the wallet. And so I went through the 17, and I don't know if it was too long. I got done with 17 in 10 minutes. So I didn't even spend a minute on every topic. I had to shoot it 3 times. I made errors in the first 2. The first error was I made a reference that Deerwood Realty was a law firm, which it's not. It's a real estate firm. And the second mistake was I read the same thing twice on the screen, and so it didn't make any sense. So not only was it hard to do, I had to redo it. It was so bad twice. So I have on the Deerwood Realty YouTube channel personal favorites, and these are the podcasts that went well. Everything flowed, and it was a good topic, and we could really enjoy it. When we contrast that with yesterday's episode, it was terrible. Now, I'm asking you as the chat, I'm asking you as the viewer, if I put out a dog video, I mean, are you okay with watching it? Are you okay? I mean, are you gonna say never again? And I'm asking this for specific reason. So I watched this one YouTube channel. I was subscribed to this one YouTube channel, and let's just say it was car related. And the guy was going to build this one car, okay? And they spent like 3 episodes about how they're going to do this car, and then they're like, nope, this is too dangerous. We're not going to do it. And after that, I just left the channel. Then I went back a little bit, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And then he hired this guy that I just don't like. And so now when I see him on the screen, it just makes me not want to watch. I don't know if other people have said that to him. I don't know if he gets any information. I don't know if he cares. I mean, if you're averaging at like between 700,000 and 1 million views on every episode you produce on YouTube, and you're doing it probably every other day or maybe even every day, I don't think you care what some guy that has 50 subscribers and 10 viewers on a live stream, if he's lucky, is gonna say about something. But my point to you is you know my videos, you know my live streams. Would you unsubscribe because of one bad video? And we have to say there's a difference between a bad video and maybe I say something controversial or maybe I say something that's against your belief. And if that's the case, then I understand. Although I don't typically. It's interesting. My YouTube, the way I do it when I watch it, might be different than yours. So if I watch a video, like if I even click the button, I'm probably going to stay for the whole thing. I don't like to change off videos. I wouldn't even understand why you would do that unless the video was terrible, which maybe mine was yesterday. But let's be honest, okay? We're all looking for that one video that's going to shoot us to where we need to be. And the goal right now on YouTube is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And why do you want those? Well, then you get monetized. Do you get like a lot of money because you're monetized? No, not really. Can't live off of it. But what it does is it's like, hey, here's a couple bucks. You know, thanks for playing. I'd like that. Would you like that? I mean, we know I'm going to do 30 hours in a row, or we think I mean, if I get injured or something, then 30 days is not going to work. But it just would be good. That's my opinion. I wanted to go over my buyers on this particular house in Imperial. As of it's 9:30 Central Time, I don't think they're going to write an offer. And you say, well, why, John? Why do you not think you're being negative? Well, there's just this way people respond when they want to buy something. If they, like, as we talked about yesterday, I'll give them a night to think about it. Or I'll try to make it so that they have time to think about it. But like I also said yesterday, if somebody goes back to a house, sometimes they don't like the house. The second time through, they're like, why did I think this was a great idea? Sometimes when they see it in the daylight, like instead of in the evening, they say, I don't like this, the way this looks. It's not what I want. Also, if I have to lead the conversation, so if I have to say, do we want to buy this house? Do you want to make an offer? Then I know that it's not going well, because if they want to buy something, believe me, they'll start talking about terms and they'll start communicating with me. I'll get texts, I'll get calls, I'll get stuff like that. I'm getting none of that as of 9:30 this morning. And you can say, well, they're busy. Well, you know what? If you don't have an offer in, you're not going to buy the house. Now, are they looking for things like pricing from me? I don't think so. Already ran the comps, already showed them the comps. So I don't think that anything's going to happen. Now, the thing that I like about real estate, at least real estate sales, that's exciting, that's a trip, is I could literally go 2 days without a phone call for, meeting someone new. I could go a week, I guess. But then all of a sudden, I'm minding my own business and I'll get like 2 calls, and there'll be people that want to buy houses or sell houses, and it just changes my whole day. It changes my whole outlook on the day and how things go. And so could someone call today? Absolutely. My buyers could go to the open house at 1 and they say, hey, I really like this house. Let's make an effort. So that's that. But right now, as of 9:30, I'm predicting not going to happen. Now, do you want to fight about this one? I'm all for, putting it out there. So what should I do as an agent? Do you want me to call them 10 times today and say, you really, really got to put an offer in or you're going to lose it? Should I try to engineer some sort of scarcity? Some sort of, if you don't buy this house, you're not going to get it. If you don't pay this, you're not going to get it. If you don't, if you don't buy this house, you're going to be stuck in your house. Do I try to cause some sort of sales mechanism to work? I don't want to. This doesn't seem like something I should do. But maybe you guys out there in real estate land are doing that. Maybe that's how you get most of your people to buy houses. Maybe you just pressure them until they say, okay, all right on the offer. I'll write in one. I'm sorry. It's not who I am. Not going to be what I do. But if you think it works for you, then tell me about it. Put it in the chat. Leave me a comment afterwards. Okay. A little bit more about me. So, I watch YouTube. You know that I'm kind of dated in my knowledge. Like, apparently this Olivia Rodrigo situation is bad. And I didn't even look at the trends today, Google Trends. I should have, but I kind of felt like the show was going to be so strong. And I had so many things to talk about that I didn't need to worry about Olivia Rodrigo or the new trends for today. One of them said MLS, but I think they're talking about Major League Soccer and not the multiple listing service. But I didn't get to it. But anyway, did I lose it? Let me go back. To my note. Oh, yes. So I was watching Adam Carolla, who has a podcast, who has, some other stuff. He's very active out there in the social media world. And he was interviewing Jay Leno. And it was for about an hour and 5 minutes. It was a fantastic interview. Why was it a fantastic interview? Well, Jay Leno is kind of an interesting person. It's dated, of course. It's dated. No one really remembers Jay Leno as the person that took over for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. That was a big deal. It's between him and David Letterman. Now, David Letterman afterwards was a fascinating person too. I've watched him be interviewed. He doesn't really have to do interviews. He doesn't really have to be on shows anymore. Neither does Jay Leno. But the way they come across is fascinating. And if you ever get a chance to listen to Jay Leno talk, he is a very interesting fellow. I don't mean interesting and weird. I don't mean that. But he's very centered. I think the kids would call it based. But he's got to be worth at least, let's just I mean, he's worth a lot of money. I mean, he's got to be. He said on the podcast that he saved all of his checks from The Tonight Show. And he also said that he had a $30 million pay, he had a $30 million year contract, that he had so much money. At one point, he's like, to save the staff, I'll just cut my pay in half. I'll take 15. And he also said he'd never spent any of that money, that he always put it away because he always wanted to make his money as a comic. And when he was talking in the episode, he said that if he just goes and does an oil change on one of his cars every day, it would take him 1.5 years. So that means he has probably 600 cars. So, and then the way he talked about Hollywood, he talked about how he didn't have a girlfriend and, he didn't have a drug problem. So he has plenty of money. But it was just fascinating. There's exciting people, out there. I've really wanted to, get my StreamYard together and start interviewing people, but I'm focused on how people overcome things in their lives, and not necessarily like, how do I explain it? They may not even view themselves as a success, but if you kind of make it to a certain point in life, and you're okay, I kind of like to hear that. And how did you get there? How did you end up where you are? Would be the the short version of the podcast. But there are certain guests that bring a lot of views. So like if you could ever get an interview with Elon Musk, oh my God. He has 66 million followers on Twitter. When he tweets something, it's newsworthy. And he tweets a lot. There's a lot of news just generated by his tweets. I don't necessarily agree with him on a lot of things, But I also don't know how I would set it up. How would you set up an interview or a podcast with Elon Musk? What questions would you ask that he hasn't heard 1,000 times? What could you ask him that, didn't, that helped the interview to flow? But where you weren't, some people fall all over their guest. One of the more interesting ones I saw on a podcast is Joe Rogan had, what's his name? Jack Dorsey from Twitter on. And somehow Rogan missed, like, people are upset at Jack and Twitter, mostly for censorship. And he kind of just missed it. And so after the episode aired, he got all this backlash and maybe even call it constructive criticism. But then he had Jack Dorsey agreed to appear with his legal counsel and Tim Pool, and they went over, specific incidents where this is ridiculous. But for myself, I've often said for the podcast, I'm just trying to learn how to communicate in this space. It's not natural to talk. It's not natural for me to talk more than an hour in one day. And I'm doing that in a podcast in the morning. I get nervous. I know it's weird. You get nervous broadcasting to no one. But I always worry about, like, what's going to happen if I say the wrong thing or if I misspeak. And then the last thing is I want to be able to verbalize what I'm thinking in a way that's quicker. So to be the ability to analyze something while I'm talking and be able to put it out there for you is important for me. But I've never really done an interview with anyone, and I really don't like the awkward silence that might come from one of my questions. And I also don't know how to separate you as a person from your business. And what I mean by that is I care about the people, not necessarily their status. I like to hear how they got to their status. So it's weird. If I can I feel like I feel like where we're at is I can't pull good interviews for two reasons. One, I have to do it all myself, and scheduling interviews along with everything else is tough. And number two, I'm at a significant disadvantage on YouTube. If you look at my subscribers on YouTube, 50 subscribers, nobody's going to want to come on my show for 50 subscribers when they don't have they can't go back and look at any interviews I've done. And then there is a third complication, and that is, so as I said, I see someone as a person. So if you're married, I'd kind of like to know that you're married. I don't need to know if you don't, like, there's this idea that you're anonymous on the internet. I'm not anonymous on the internet. My home office for Deerwood Realty is all over the place. My phone number is all over the place. My name is John Schenk. I'm from Deerwood Realty. I mean, there's no, like, fake. I mean, you know exactly. I mean, I don't. It's kind of scary, but anyway. But some people don't want to talk about their past. Some people have been divorced. Some people have had painful things happen, and I have no interest in, like, sticking my thumb in their eye and saying, oh, well, let's talk about this. It's a miserable point in your life. But we look at people, and I'm guilty of it as much as anyone else. I look at somebody on YouTube and say, man, you guy's got a lot of followers, and his channel isn't really that great, or it's not better than mine. What's his secret? Well, he's done it for 7 years or 12 years. I mean, okay, well, I've done it for, 6 months. July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months. 6 months versus 6 years. Oh, okay. I can see that. And you see the finished product. So you see Elon Musk now, but you didn't see Elon Musk before PayPal. You didn't see Jeff Bezos before Amazon. You don't, you see someone as they are now, not as they were, and that goes true with let's just say the Supreme Court, John Roberts. The hell happened to that guy? Like seriously. And then what were the events that led someone to think that he would be the best Supreme Court justice, that he should lead the court? I remember him being nominated, and that was a big deal. George Bush wanted to nominate his buddy out of Texas. I forgot her name. And she's like, no, I don't think this is my thing. After a tremendous amount of backlash. But you have to understand, anytime a Republican puts forth a name to the Supreme Court, it will always have backlash. It's just the way it goes. If a Democrat does it, there will be no backlash. It'll be totally fine. And in fact, it'll be celebrated, whoever they choose. But anyway, yeah. How did that guy get to where he is? What did he do? It's just interesting. Did he wake up and say, one day I want to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? Is that, and then is he like, how do I play the game to get to that point? It's just one of those things. I don't know anything about the guy. I know his decisions are wrought with inconsistencies. But I'm not a lawyer. So I don't even play one on TV. Yesterday took a road trip. Wanted to kind of put this together. So my wife likes coffee. She likes to go see these small towns, especially in St. Louis. There's these small towns that still have the charm. They still have the architecture. And normally these towns have like a coffee shop, and then around the coffee shop, or a courthouse, and around the courthouse is little shops and stores, even now. And so there's one in Farmington, there's a coffee shop she likes to go to. And she's, if wife wants to go somewhere, she deserves it. She works hard. She deserves anything that she wants. So we went to the coffee shop, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. When we left in the dark, and we were driving home, and it was cold outside yesterday. It was in the 30s, and the place is about an hour and a half away from our house. And the drive home was magical. And I say that because the highway and the car was performing flawlessly. I mean, we were going 70 miles an hour, and there wasn't too much traffic, and we had it on cruise control. And I mean, that car was just floating along the highway. Okay. And then I like Pandora because it's free. I've got channels that I've got channels that are probably 10 years old now. So we were listening to some great tunes. And then I've got the zoned heating in the car. And it was cold out, but it was warm in the car. I think I had the car seat, seat heaters on. And I mean, we're driving down the road, and it is just marvelous. I mean, just marvelous. Such gratitude. Think about where we are as a culture. People are trying to get rid of cars because they're bad on the environment and all this stuff. Whatever. It is marvelous to be able to travel. We've traveled, I believe, 70 miles in both directions with no issues, no automotive issues, and in pure comfort and pure enjoyment. And that is really special. I mean, it's just amazing to me. You say, well, John, there was radios back. Yes, there was, but it's not like listening to music you actually like. And John, there was cars back. Yes, but man, this car floated, and this car, the temperature there was heat, John. There was heat in cars 50 years ago. Yes, but gosh, it was nice yesterday. It was really nice. And so it's all about gratitude for me. How lucky was I to be able to experience such a wonderful event yesterday? Now juxtapose that with the fact that I can't buy a shirt in 2021 that doesn't, that has a good neck. Whatever. whatever. Finally, I want to talk about something that I'm a little curious about. So there were tornadoes. Some people passed away, and it's not good. And so what I see a lot of times online, is a response like this. When someone dies and it's bad, okay, the first thing that someone will say was, well, they're going to sue and they're going to make all kinds of money. So I don't know where we got this idea that we're going to sue and make all this money came from. Okay. So like George Floyd is dead. Okay. He's not alive. And his estate sued, and I think they got $27 million. But he's still dead. And the story that says, and I'm not saying he's a martyr or anything, don't get me wrong. But the idea that when something bad happens and the first response is, well, they're going to get paid, or they're going to sue and they're going to make all this money, I believe is a hardwiring thought mistake by people. And here's why. If you don't believe in some sort of heaven, okay, after you die, if you think you're just going in the ground and you're done, okay, I suspect that the story that ends at that point doesn't work in the, it's like a hardwiring issue in the brain. You can't just say, oh, this person died, because that's an end. So what you say is this person died, but boy, their estate's going to make a fortune. Now all of a sudden we've taken something very, very sad and we've turned it into a positive. But is it a positive that someone's going to get sued for a bunch of money? That's what I'm saying. There's this really weird thing. So these people in Illinois, some were killed and many were trapped in this warehouse. And so, people, oh, well, the builder's going to get sued. The Amazon's going to get sued. Amazon has a lot of money, so they're going to win their case. But it's like the people are dead, and you're not going to bring them back. That's the end of the story. It's not, oh, well, their estate can sue. It doesn't matter. They're dead. There's no financial recourse for the person that's dead. And I just wanted to share that with you because I'm good with like someone's dead and that's it. I'll take it. I don't need the positive of, oh, someone's going to sue and someone's going to make a lot of money off of the deal. No, let's just concentrate on the fact that this person's dead. Let's show some respect and move on from there. That's what I've got on a Sunday morning. Let's get into some real estate stuff. Number one, we've got an article that says reasons to buy a home in the winter. So let's go to that. Here we go. Wow. Here's why you should buy a home during the winter. Now, I believe this is true, but I have not read the article. So let's just see. It says it was originally published in 2020. I don't care. This is something that's been going on for a long time. It says, let's see one line that kind of sums it up for me. However, now is the best time to score a deal on that dream house. Why is that? Well, one, you got motivated sellers. Colder months tend to see less activity as far as listing and sales go. Now, I don't know if that's true in a place like Florida. Okay. I don't know. But I know in St. Louis it's true. And it says this may seem like a disadvantage. However, if you're able to find a house that meets your needs, chances are you'll have found a motivated seller. That's true. A lot of the houses I see during this time of the year are people that have passed away. The seller's passed away and the estate's getting rid of it, trying to get rid of it before the new year. The house I was looking at, Imperial, is a relocation. So they're getting a different job somewhere. I mean, they've got a job and they're being transferred. The majority of the homes are listed in spring and summer. So if you've stumbled across a listing that's been on the market for a while, the seller will likely be ready to negotiate. I don't know about that. Not in this market. So let's just leave it at that. But I would say motivated sellers for sure. Then it says less competition. We've all heard the story of the dreaded bidding war. It seems like today's market's seeing this happen more than ever. Not only can it drive the price of the home above asking, you also run the risk of emotionally overspending or losing the property altogether. With the majority of buyers taking a break from house hunting, now is the optimal time to start your search. With the likelihood of competing offers dropping significantly, buyers can regain some control during negotiations. Well, I don't think you're going to be doing very well with negotiation right now. Rates are still low. It's still a seller's market by a long shot. What I would say is that for some reason, people don't like to go out during the winter. I don't know if it's because of the cold. I don't know if it's because of the dark. To me, that'd be the perfect time to go move, because during the summer, if you try to move in 100-degree weather, it's just absolutely awful. You say, well, what if you're trying to move in a snowstorm? Well, just wait another day. I don't know. To me, I'd rather do it in the winter. And then it says lower interest rates. This is not a guarantee. However, loan and mortgages rates fluctuate throughout the year and historically hit lows during the holiday season. I didn't know that's true. I don't know the statistics on that, but hey, we'll say that's true. Then it says professional availability. With fewer homes on the market, real estate agents tend to find themselves with more overall availability. If you're ready to buy a home, you'll benefit as your realtor will have more time to dedicate your search and negotiations once your dream home is found. I do agree to a certain extent. It just depends if someone's really, doing a good job in the marketplace. I try to treat all of my buyers and all of my sellers with the same amount of service, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't. Now, February, excuse me. For me, in February, I might as well take a vacation. Nobody's coming to see me in February. It's been the way it has been for all the years I've been in business. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It is what it is. What's hard is the kids get out of school, in the summer, and so you want to take a summer trip, which I don't really understand, because like you go to Florida in the summer, you basically go from St. Louis, where it's hot and humid, to Florida, where it's hot and humid. That's not really a trip to me. But anyway, it's true. I would say you could definitely take a vacation in February as a real estate agent in St. Louis and not be affected in any way. But I agree. I agree with the overall premise of the article. I believe that winter is a good time to buy a home. I think it's the right time to buy a home if you can swing it. You may say, well, what if I have to put, if I buy a house, then I have to put my house up for sale in this terrible winter time. Yeah, or you wait. Like if you get a house in January and you wait until end of February, early March to put it up, you're going to be in the spring. People are going to be looking again. So I really wouldn't worry about it. Buy a house in the winter. To me, it makes sense. Now, don't think that you're not going to have bidding wars and stuff like that right now, and in one of the hotter markets we've ever seen. That's not going to happen. Now we got one, reasons to sell your house as is. I just wanted to get these out because I think we've wanted to talk about them for like maybe a week. And I just want to start fresh on Monday. So it says, if you're thinking about selling your home, you may only see headaches ahead. You may face a long list of improvements you may need to make before your house can even go on the market. Before you take out a home equity loan to give your home an overhaul or bring in the contractors, consider these reasons to sell your house as is. Well, in this market, you should sell your house as is because the buyers will buy it as is. It says, here's why. Save a considerable amount of money. I've always agreed with this. If your kitchen is outdated, then just price your house to where your kitchen's outdated. Don't waste your time with trying to fix up a kitchen and then sell it, because you're not going to get more for it. You've already spent a fortune. So that's one. You can price your home to move. When you sell your house as is, you can be more flexible with the price. Investing on money and improvements means you're going to have to set a higher asking price in the real estate market. If you want to move as quickly as possible, a lower price will make your home more attractive to potential buyers and get it sold faster. It depends. I mean, if you're signaling to the market that your house is terrible by a ridiculously low price, you run the risk of somebody actually buying it at a much lower price than you could actually sell it for or could have sold it for. Because maybe that bidding war doesn't happen if you've signaled, that the house isn't worth it. Now, I would just try to price it for what I think it would sell for. For instance, if it's going to cost $20,000 to redo the kitchen, I'd rather pull $20,000 off the asking price and go from there. And you say, well, that's a lot of money. I'd say off of the asking price of the best sold home in that area. And then it says, let buyers make your home their own. That's exactly right. The one problem with this, it says a buyer is going to have a vision of what their home should look like anyway. The problem I see with this is very few buyers these days have a good vision. I don't know why that is, but they have trouble figuring out where furniture should go. They have trouble figuring out what design cues they should use. So it doesn't go that easily. That's why we do staging. That's why we, kind of make pictures look the best they can look, is because we're trying to give buyers an idea of making your home theirs. And then it says cash buyers want your house. Many companies offer cash deals on homes in a sales process that is fast and easy. Their main goal is to get your home at a lower price so they can give it a facelift. So that's the iBuyer model. That's the investor model. I would say this. If you ever do decide to list your home that needs work, I would still recommend you go with an agent because, for instance, I had a house last year. The house needed work. We listed it as is. I was getting offers from people. I probably had more than 100 offers on that house. House sold for maybe 65,000. I was getting offers in the 30s. Okay. And we took the highest offer, obviously. But, if you're just working with an investor and you have no knowledge of what you're doing, you're going to get burned. And you say, well, John, the commission is so much. You're not, I can guarantee you that if you would have sold this particular house at 30,000, my commission would have been the least of your issues. You would have lost many thousands, tens of thousands. So why would you ever do that way? That's what I've got. Now, if you got a bankruptcy, or if you're going to lose your house next week, all right, that's one thing. But I can normally get a house sold in 2 weeks, or even shorter, or even long. I mean, normally 30 days, but I can do it in 2 weeks if I have to. So, I would say the real reason to sell your house as is it's a couple things. One, it depends on the market. So, the market we're in, why wouldn't you? You don't need to negotiate with anybody as the seller. Just list your house. Set a good price and be done with it. The buyer that gets your house is probably going to have some sort of clause in the offer that's going to say, we're going to do inspections, but it's not going to be, we're not going to discuss anything over X amount of dollars, or, it's for just informational purposes only. We just want to know what we're getting into, those types of things. I thought it was a good article. I thought it was a timely article. Let's go to a different type of article. Useful nooks and crannies, how to transform your home's 8 most underused spaces. And I would say a word of caution. You may not have all of your space being used, but maybe that's okay. Don't just pile your house full of stuff and make more room to pile more stuff in it. It gets weird, but this is more like kind of what we were talking about a minute ago of kind of visualizing what our home we would like it to be, or what it could be. So here we go. So it says, sure, the cupboard under the stairs work. It's Harry Potter's room in the Dursley household. But what about the unusual ledger cut out in years? You don't need to be a wizard to transform these underused spaces into fabulously useful areas. So nooks and crannies, look at that. Depending on its size, a nook can be turned into a small sitting area, a tea station, or put to a variety of purpose. A home's awkward nooks are great opportunities to be creative. I agree with that. If done right, really wonderful. So this is kind of nice. Okay. But I will say this does look like it's under the stairs, right? And then the next thing is under the stairs. So if you're in University City, you know what people put underneath the stairs in University City? Bathrooms. Anyway, this says put a fireplace under, or no, a wine rack. But anyway, yeah, there's space underneath there. Go for it. Then another one is a tiny closet. You can turn that into a little study room. Now, I don't know who's doing barn doors these days. And I don't know why you'd want to study in a closet, but whatever. Cutouts, love cutouts. When I see them in houses, a lot of times that was where the phone used to go in the houses in South City. And then now it's like, what do we have here? Well, they put a plant there, and that looks pretty nice. This one here I don't agree with. It says over the door. So look at all these books. Number one, my wife would kill me. I have a lot of books, but they're on book racks, and she doesn't really see the value in books. But then anyway, over the door, now I've got a place to put more books, and it's kind of like, it's a lot of books. I don't particularly like, taking up, I don't particularly like built-in book cases that take up the entire room. I mean, let's just say you're going out 24 inches. That's 2 feet along every wall. I mean, you're cutting down the room size significantly. And then it says fireplace. It says when you use your fireplace, that cute recess is too hot to ignore. We've got a fireplace, and we do the same sort of thing. We don't have a bed there, but we have lights coming down, and we have a picture of our wedding and a picture of the chapel where we got married on the other side. The attic, this looks nice. It says making your attic into a more usable space will depend on ceiling height. If your attic has high ceilings, you can make it into an office, guest room, or craft room by insulating the ceilings and putting down a floor. My aunt has an attic that I've always thought that she should redo. When you show houses in St. Louis City and St. Louis County, when someone's redone the attic, it's dicey. One, what about HVAC? So in the summer, is it getting adequately cooled, or is the roof just making the space miserable? That's number one. Number two, during the winter, is there enough heat getting to that space? That matters. So when I show a house in the summer and the air conditioning's on and it's 72 degrees downstairs, and then they say, oh, well, you can go upstairs and there's more space, and then you go upstairs and it's 90 degrees, even though the air conditioner's got a vent there, I don't want to be in that space. And I always kind of want to be cognizant of it, because sometimes there will be maybe a need for a window air conditioning unit that isn't there, and no one pays attention to it, and so they think that it's air conditioned when it's not. And so that's just stuff to look out for. Am I right 100% of the time? No, but kind of check out for, temperature changes. It's worth it. Behind a door, you can decorate behind a door. I don't like that, because I like to open the doors all the way. But I just wanted you to think about using that space. And so I thought that article was good. I am going to cut it right there. We're going to do the next articles tomorrow. Let me go back to this. How you doing? Did you have a good stream? I had a good stream. I enjoyed it. Now, I'm a little sad because I didn't get any spam chatters today. Spam bots. But it is Sunday morning. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I think most of you will see it on the replay. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. And thanks for watching. And I do appreciate it. I know you guys are out there. And come and chat with me on a stream sometime. Thank you.